haven't seen it, well, we're gonna spoil it.
Spoil it in your face.
That's your warning. So if you get pissed, it's all your fault. Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo.
What's up, little biscuits and sun-dried tomatoes? It's Brandon Collins back with another mini review for the Medium Popcorn YouTube page. This one is on The House of Gucci, directed by Ridley Scott, starring Adam Driver, Lady Gaga, Jeremy Irons, Al Pacino, and Jared Leto. Sounds like an amazing cast, right? Yes. But the execution of this movie was weird. Really, really weird. A lot of praise is being given out to Lady Gaga for her performance. I honestly just felt like it's just Lady Gaga with an Italian accent. If you really look at her performance in A Star Is Born, there's very similar characteristics and story arc. Obviously, there's murder in the House of Gucci, but I wasn't impressed. And I know a lot of critics, particularly white critics, are praising her performance. And I'm like, stop it. Stop it. She does not deserve to be in the best actress conversation. Here it is Kristen Stewart for Spencer, which is a god-awful movie, probably my least favorite awards contender this year. Or Nicole Kidman in Being the Ricardos. I got to see that, and it's the first Aaron Sorkin movie where I'm like, this is really boring and unengaging. Nicole Kidman is not expressionless for playing Lucille Ball. But that's another review for another time. House of Gucci is about the Gucci family that started the clothing empire that we all know today. Ironically, I found out that Salma Hayek's husband is actually a current owner of Gucci, and Salma Hayek is in this movie where she plays like a kind of like a fortune teller, so to speak, for Lady Gaga's character, and then she ends up being involved in the planned murder of Adam Driver's character, who Mauricio. Adam Driver is taking this role really, really seriously. He's very low energy. It's like he's just like this the whole time. Lady Gaga has ebbs and flows where she's just like she's either like really, really intense or then she's really cartoonish. Like there's this weird sex scene, and Ridley Scott between this and The Last Duel clearly likes to watch Adam Driver get his thing on, right, in the bedroom, or in this case, a weird office at a construction site. And I don't know, man. This movie just did not work for me. The pacing was really, really uneven, and the performances. I mean, I haven't even talked about Jared Leto. Jared Leto is in a different fucking movie. He is out of his goddamn mind in this. Now, my wife Tatiana, she loves Jared Leto's crazy performances. She's like, give Jared Leto all the awards. For me, I'm like, they talk about people understanding the assignment. It's like I don't know about this real person that Jared Leto was portraying, Paolo Gucci, but I doubt he was as cartoonish as Jared Leto's playing him, right? Like Jared Leto's energy, like he does make the movie. Like I'm not gonna discredit that from him. Like he makes this movie, like the scenes that he's in are entertaining. They're completely insane, but they are entertaining. But he's not in the movie enough for it to warrant a 2.5 hour runtime that kind of just drags on. And honestly, none of the characters, none of the Gucci family you really feel sympathetic for. So there's no one really to root for. And then by the time we get to the actual crime that is hinted in the opening scene, it kind of was lackluster. It really petered out. And I don't know if that's because Ridley Scott, he just needs a better editor. Obviously he had 2 movies come out this year, The Last Duel and this. House of Gucci is doing well at the box office though. So again, you can check it out for the crazy performances. I mean, Jared Leto and Al Pacino screaming in the same scene was very entertaining. It's completely crazy. And I actually want to advocate for Jared Leto and Nicolas Cage starring in the movie ASAP, because that would be cuckoo bananas. But overall, like I said, this movie is over 2.5 hours. This pacing's all over the place. Some of the story apparently isn't fully accurate to the Gucci family. And even like, it just felt incomplete. It felt like this could have been a really good miniseries, because the story, it was just too much story. It felt like, I mean, we get Tom Ford popping in to revitalize the Gucci brand in the last like 25 minutes or so. And then it like is a rapid, like the rest of the Gucci family gets fucking pushed out of the company. And now, no one affiliated with the Gucci family is actually on the Gucci board or like helps run the company. which is pretty insane. But at the same time, it's a lot of bad business decisions, which was hinted at throughout the movie. Jeremy Irons always solid. I really like whenever Jeremy Irons is on screen, I usually pay attention. I still think he was robbed of an Oscar nomination for Margin Call, but that's another conversation for another day. But in regards to Oscar nominations, I would say probably Jared Leto, just because I know the Academy loves this motherfucker, and he is the most entertaining thing about the movie. Like, he, just his like moans and like the way he reacts to things. It just, I wonder if Ridley was like, "Yeah, Jared, that's the shit I'm looking for," or if he's just like, "This guy's clearly going to do what he wants, so let me just roll with it," right? Because everyone's playing it kind of straight, except for him and Lady Gaga. They were both out of their goddamn minds in this movie. They try to be very method, and it shows. It shows that they're completely insane. And sometimes when I think about acting in general, like you have to be a crazy person to do this stuff because you're playing make believe, right? And you're making millions and millions of dollars. But at the same time, the movie has to make sense. The movie has to flow, and this movie just did not do that. I was very disappointed because I heard so much hype about Lady Gaga and Jared Leto. Their performances are so wild. You gotta see it. You gotta see it. I almost fell asleep during the first 20 minutes. I was very surprised. I'm like, how am I already bored? The movie just started. And then they had some interesting parts peppered throughout the end of the first act into the second act. Then the beginning of the third act kind of slowed down a little bit. And then it picked up a little bit, but then it slowed down again. And I was just like, who's this movie for? Right? If it's not for Lady Gaga fans or Jared Leto fans, I don't know who this movie's for. Because even Al Pacino, like, he does a pretty good performance. I will say, I don't think it's going to get any kind of awards recognition, but it was a solid performance. It's not as good as The Irishman, but everyone with their Italian accents, it was very much like Jack Nicholson in Departed, where it was clearly going in and out for everybody, for everybody, except for Jared Leto. But that's because he sounded like Mario the whole fucking time. Like, y'all, like when I tell you, like, just wait for, if you don't want to see this movie or you're on the fence, I would just say wait till YouTube has a compilation of all the scenes from this movie and just watch that. Honestly, I'd just say just watch that instead of watching this 2.5 hour slog of a film. So, medium popcorn, we rate movies with bags of popcorn, small, medium, large, and XL for the exceptional. If a movie does not deserve a bag of popcorn, though, we put it into a dog shit pile where you pop piles and piles of dog shit. Now, I'm not going to give House of Gucci dog shit because there are some entertaining parts, but it maybe adds up to 20 minutes out of a 2.5 hour movie. So I'm going to give it a small, with the caveat that if you again are on the fence about this movie, or if you're wondering if Gaga's as good as they say, you can wait. You can wait till this is on HBO Max or any of the streamers in a few months from now. It's not worth running out to the movie theater the way I did. Um, it was very disappointing for someone that's like never really been into fashion, but I was intrigued by the story because I didn't know anything about the Gucci family. So I'm always looking to learn new things. But then watching the movie, and I was like, this didn't really tell me what this family was about, what motivated them, why they made these bad business decisions, and then to read a little bit more and find out that there's a lot of inaccuracies in the way the family is being portrayed. I believe the family's even exploring some legal action against the creative team behind this movie because of the inaccuracies. But I mean, that usually happens when you have a less than, you know, uh, kind portrayal of you and your family and your family's history, right? Because this is not kind to the Gucci family, and maybe that's the point. Maybe that's the point. But yeah, Ridley Scott, he's been all over the place the past few years with his films. I don't know, between Prometheus, The Last Duel was actually a little bit better than this, but I think that's because The Last Duel, I knew what I was getting into. I'm like, this is a medieval movie about the first like someone's quote unquote Me Too case. It stars Matt Damon, Adam Driver. They're going to duel because Adam Driver has been accused of raping Matt Damon's wife. It was very straightforward, and it's a period piece, so I knew what I was getting into watching that. So I was like, yeah, this is like standard adult drama fare. It's not boring because I know what it is. Whereas House of Gucci, the way that they advertised it and the way that critics were talking about it, I was like intrigued and saying, okay, this might be a really entertaining, campy drama. And instead, it ended up being just a very boring, inconsistent drama with some funny parts that I don't know were meant to really be funny, considering there's some serious shit going on. But yeah, I'm going to small. take that what you want to do with it, or whatever the saying is. Y'all, I'm tired. But I want to let y'all know about the House of Gucci. Be on the lookout for other mini reviews over the next few weeks because got a lot of screeners. So I'm gonna be watching a lot of movies and sharing my thoughts with you all, either on the YouTube or the website, mediumpopcorn.com. Remember, you can follow me at American Collins on all social media platforms. You can follow the show at Medium P Podcast, also on all social media platforms. And be sure to push that subscribe button at the bottom of this page because we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Help us reach that goal. And if you like this review and you want to see more of them, please put that in the comments, give it a thumbs up, and I will talk to you all soon. Peace.